This is the Capella Hotel. It's one of only 5 in the world. This is the only one that is in the United States at this time. The difficulties involved with this job on the outside is around the top of the cornice, there is approximately 600 foot of LED weatherproof lighting. The problems with that is it was actually all stick built, and then we had to rough everything in from the top side prior to the final installation on the underside. We installed 6,000 down lights and approximately 4 miles of LED strip lighting on the property. The canopy is all I-beam steel construction. We installed 20 LED weatherproof fixtures here. We actually turned this over in 3 days, a working system. The first thing you notice when we walk inside the Capella, the main entrance, is all the stone and the beautiful millwork. But at a closer glance, you notice what ties the whole space together is all the lighting that's installed. The downlights themselves were old work style, which means you install it after all the finishes are done. On this floor alone, we've got 700 downlights and 2,500 foot of LEDs. The backlit Annex bar, that is probably about 200 man hours, and we had to hide the LED drivers once again. This was probably the most difficult wall in the entire place to do because we had to coordinate with the stonemason, the drywall contractor, and everyone on how we were actually going to support our light fixtures behind a sealed wall. Down here is their private dining. We didn't have really a very good cut sheet on what was coming into this fixture. Fortunately, we nailed it, but we had to work around all the finishes. Of course, the table wasn't in place, but all finishes were already here. Now, this piece of artwork was an addition at the tail end of the project. There was nothing roughed in for it. And with these lights being the old work style, it created a huge challenge. This is the spa, pool, recreational area. All the LED lighting and the stairs, this was a very difficult process. To get our wiring for the LED lighting, we had a 30 millimeter gap to try to get a sleeve in a 12-inch concrete wall, and it all worked out. It fell exactly where it needed to be. You can't see any of the wiring. It worked out perfect. This is the presidential suite. The shower head is in the light fixture. We did the entire project in 7 months.
Jude Miller, and I work for Clark Construction, and we're going to show you AIWS Pyramid on the top of the 1812 North Moore building. AIW, what they did is they actually took each leg of this truss, and these were all fabricated in their shop. So each leg of the truss, they built these jigs to get all the angles right. Everything just perfectly in the jig. Then they actually cut the trusses in half. If you look here, you can see the splice welds. So each truss leg comes out here in 2 pieces. The top of the trusses were actually laying on the truck itself, so you're like 30 foot wide. So you can imagine we're trying to get them from Hyattsville, Maryland to Arlington is quite a task in its own. They had to ship them at midnight. Once we got them here, we had to immediately start erecting them. We actually put this thing together in 4 nights. The first step was we actually put two scaffold towers up right here and had, I believe it was 8 tiebacks to the structure itself to support the scaffold to keep from twisting. So we actually set the compression ring on, dogged the compression ring off to the scaffold, and then started setting. If you look over the side too, you can see this thing sets on these base plates. These are actually steel I-beams embedded in the concrete columns. The only real field welds you had were the connections to the base plates, each three points on each leg, and then these splice connections. It's a pretty incredible job. Just the geometry, each leg's coming in at a different angle. We actually had to beef up the tower crane to make it so it could actually pick everything we needed to on this job. You can't pick anything from the street up to here. We actually have a mock-up over there for lights, so this thing will glow from everywhere, and the lights actually go up They go up, they mount it here and under this side of the vertical, and they go from the bottom all the way to the top. So you'll really be able to see it at nighttime.
My name's Mike Eggleston. I'm the General Superintendent for Tompkins Builders. We are in a courtroom, and as you can see, there's extensive millwork and stonework. The wood is all mahogany, cut and processed in Canada. The architects went up and chose all the flitches for the various panels in solid wood. The panels on the radius walls here are all acoustical wood panels. These are all insulation backed to ensure that there's no noise passed from one courtroom to another. There are 10 courtrooms total in the building. All these desks, the judges' benches, and the jury rails all have extensive AV and IT components installed in them. On the back wall, there's Venetian plaster around that mahogany door surround. Those entry doors are all fused metal panel doors. These are all spectator benches back here, spectator rail. The wood panel ceiling, again, it's all mahogany. The marble behind the judge's bench is from China. It's all book-matched marble. These rails here, they're solid because there's steel tubes inside the millwork. They go down and are welded to embed plates that cast in the concrete. And you can see there's reveals, and all the reveals run through the door heads, and it was very challenging to get all the reveals to line up per the architect's design. We've got all the bugs worked out, and like I say, we're putting the finished touches on the rest of the courtrooms.